Oh my. The cheese crew is back. These meddlesome fools. These meddlesome fools.
See, what do you think about this layout?
I don't know, chat. What do you think about this? I don't mind it.
Better.
I don't know. I don't mind it.
A little close up. You can see all my pimples. Just kidding.
See my beautiful, beautiful face.
What is up, everybody?
Welcome back to the Practically Reality Podcast.
I guess I didn't change the title of the podcast, I guess, on the YouTube channel. So it's actually episode 10.
Yikes.
Yeah, man. We've been doing this for like 2 months almost. Or 3 months, I guess. Wow.
Hey, that's a long time.
It's more than I've done anything before in my life.
No comment. We're still married, though, after 3 months. Or more,
Yeah,
right?
I guess.
Good. There you go. Take a win when it's a win. My desk is so dirty right now. Like, oh. Okay. We got to get to our stuff because we got to talk about this thing that's behind me.
Yeah.
These two
Look at that
things.
monstrosity.
These two things. Oh my gosh. But my gosh.
What is up, chat? Hopefully you guys are having a good day. Welcome. Episode 10. We're going to talk about some fun stuff. We'll probably do a little bit of Q&A. So we don't have a ton of stuff scheduled today. I think we're going to go a shorter episode. I think we're trying to maybe cut down a little bit. An hour 30 is a lot for most people for a podcast. So we'll probably cut down a little bit on the podcast length, and then maybe every week we'll play some video games. So we'll just have to kind of get that figured out. There's a lot of stuff that we want to play. Maybe I can get Garrett to finally play Minecraft.
Nope. I go play Minecraft with my lonesome. Figure out why everyone's so addicted to it. Gotta figure it out. Let's go knock off Jack Black. They're calling you Jack Black in chat.
That's what they've always called me, man. I'm the knockoff Jack Black, I guess. I wish I could sing like him.
Let's fetch and go. Oh. All right. Dude, let's jump into the gaming wins and losses. I liked this segment last week. I want to keep going with it. So
cool.
Let's hear it. What's your gaming win of the week?
My gaming win. So my favorite, or I guess one of my favorite YouTubers, his name's Oompaville.
Oompaville?
Yeah. So if you haven't checked him out before, he has a candy company, which let me find something real fast.
Oompaville.
Okay. So he's got the candy belts, like Warhead or Sour. What are they called? Airhead Sours, whatever.
Okay.
Those belts. He has a little company called Sour Boys. And they're like belts and gummies and stuff. So he's a businessman. He does a lot of different stuff. He just announced, I think today, or maybe yesterday, that he started a gaming studio.
Call Me Chris?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I know this guy.
So he has a new gaming studio called Sour Boy Interactive. And they just released the demo to their game, and it's pretty dope. Like, free game on Steam. If any of you guys in chat have Steam, you should check out. Let me find it. I pulled up their website. Let me share it real fast. So, sourboysinteractive.com. Okay. The game is called Black Pine Incident Response. Okay. So it kind of reminds me. It is a multiplayer horror game, but it's like a goofy horror game. It's not like super spoopy or anything. But yeah, it's kind of like the best way I can describe it is Phasmophobia kind of is my vibe from it. But you're in Appalachia in the United States, so like in the mountains and stuff.
Oh, the Appalachians. Oh, that's freaky.
And you're hunting cryptids. So it's like Bigfoot and all that stuff. So it's pretty dope. Free to play right now in demo. They released it yesterday. And I would 10 out of 10 recommend that you guys check it out. Play it. It's 4-player, so you can play with your buddies. It's kind of like another game that it reminds me of is like Muck. Obviously, it's not like the same type of thing, but it's the same kind of fun, I would say, as Muck. So it's just one for the boys that you jump on and just dink around and goof off for a little bit. Get a little scared too.
It's kind of funny though, because like I'm looking at like all the art and stuff for it, and it's very like it doesn't look like it would be wacky. It looks like it would be very
like Spoopy.
kind of like like that's like pretty serious tone like artwork. Whereas like Muck, you can tell it's gonna be wacky because it's like your eyes are going in two different directions, right? Like
On his YouTube channel, Oompaville did a documentary about the creation of it. It's pretty good. It's called "I Am Retiring." That's the name of the YouTube video. But if
I
you
was
look it up,
wondering.
yeah,
Clickbait.
yeah, because he does YouTube, he does his Sour Boys candy, and he has this now. So he has a lot of businesses. But in the documentary, they talked about like some of the goofiest moments from the dev. There was one point they said, so they built the whole vertical slice in Roblox. They built the whole thing in Roblox first to test it out and see if it would be a fun idea. So they're getting chased by this giant cryptid, and they're jumping into the U-Haul, I guess, or their RV where they're stationed. And like one of the guys is trying to get in the RV, the other guy's getting chased around by a cryptid. He's like getting killed by the cryptid, and the bottleneck is the guy getting in the RV. So he's like trolling his friend, type of a thing, just letting him get killed by the scary beast. So I don't know. You're supposed to be like hunting and doing stuff. It looks pretty fun. I would check it out. It's free. It's a demo right now. So yeah, just look it up. The demo, Black Pine Incident Response Demo. If you search it on Steam, you should find it. Sour Boys Interactive is the studio. So check it out. Looks fun.
Okay. Very nice. That's a good win. I always worry a little bit about like YouTubers turned game devs.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they fall into a lot of traps that I feel like I fell into at the beginning of my game dev career. Sure. But hopefully this guy knows what he's doing. It seems like he's got a good sense about it. So that'll be cool.
Well, so one of the things, he's a good business guy. He got scammed twice while he was making his candy company, and he lost millions of dollars. So now he is very involved. Like he made the candy. Like it wasn't just he was licensing out the candy. He has a factory near where he lives where they manufacture all of the candy. They do all of the packaging. He's very hands-on. For the first 6 months, he was packaging all of the candy that they were delivering everywhere. So very, very hands-on. With the dev studio, he didn't want to just hire people to do it. He's been trying to learn Unity himself. But he hired a team of industry veterans that have built AAA games.
See, that right there is the exact thing that I worry about, though, because again, there is a difference between AAA development and indie development.
For sure,
right?
Yeah.
So
the documentary does a great job. Yeah. You should watch the doc. It's like these guys are like, this is the most fun I've ever had making a video game. It's like going back and being a developer for the first time, just being excited to go into work. They're on a fast indie dev timeline too, so it's not like they're trying to just, I don't know, do what AAA do and like waste time. But they said like they're more fueled by passion than they are about, I don't know, like just making a game like you would at a AAA studio. So it looks cool.
Well, that's good. I hope it goes well for him. We need more content based. I don't know. I think content creators make good game developers because they know what's also fun to watch.
For sure.
Well, and definitely a huge part of there's definitely something to playing tons of games and then going and making your own game because you've been exposed to a lot. So
well, the let's see, Birdface in here said something that's like pretty valid. He said he trusts YouTubers more than he trusts quadruple A or triple A studios at this point. Specifically for publishing right now, right? Because you have Video Game Donkey, who is got Big Mode, his publishing studio, and they published Animal Well, which I mean is an amazing game. You have Ludwig, who started his video game publishing studio, and they did the fighting game, the Aether fighting game that's like rivaling Smash, and it's doing amazing. So I just feel like indie dev, or I guess YouTuber studios and publishers right now are doing really, really good because they're playing the games. They're not just
and there's so much marketing that comes with like being a YouTuber. I mean, like I'm a fairly decent sized YouTuber at this point, right? Like we're coming up on 500,000 subs, which is crazy.
That's crazy. That's nuts.
And like, like if I mention a game in one of my posts, it's instantly gets like a noticeable hype. Like one of the big reasons that Sail blew up over the summertime is because I posted about it on my other channel, right?
Yeah.
And so like having like being published by someone who could literally reach millions of people in a single post is so powerful. So
For
yeah,
sure.
that is cool. That is a big win. That is a big win. My big win of gaming for this week is the Black Friday sales have started. So I picked
Nice.
up, I'm the most excited. I picked up 2 games that I am planning to either make long form content on, make some
Okay.
YouTube videos on, or I might stream them. We'll see.
Sick.
But one of them is Red Dead Redemption. Both of them.
Okay.
I got them in a pack for like $20. Fantastic.
That's crazy. That's
I
so
got
cheap.
Red Dead Redemption and Red Dead Redemption Online. So I got all of those like in a nice big pack. I'm super excited to check that out. And
That's like 1 hour of video gameplay for like 10 cents. If you got
Right?
both of them, it's like 200 hours of video games. You got
Yeah,
10
I
cents
got-
an hour. That's
I got that.
nuts.
I got that off of the Xbox store. Super stoked about that. Super
Yeah.
excited about that. And then the other one that I got that I'm super stoked about is I got Assassin's Creed Black Flag remastered. Which
Nice.
I'm also very stoked about.
Yeah,
So,
that was like your inspiration for a lot of sale, right?
I played the crap out of that game when I was like, I would have been like 15 or 16, I want to say, at
Yeah.
my friend's house, but I never owned it personally. So like, I'm
Okay.
really excited to go play back through it, get some more inspiration for sale and whatnot. So
That's sick.
yeah, so those are 2 big wins, man. I was excited about that. I was super
Yeah.
excited to get some good deals. It's that time of year, man. It's so hard not to just start
I know. I need to
cashing out
get
on all
in
the
and
sales, dude.
I need to see what they have on the Steam sale. My bad thing is, guess how many games I have on my Steam profile?
I'm gonna guess over 200.
Oh
Maybe.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
close to probably like 300 or 400 at
Yeah.
this point, and
Yeah.
I've played maybe like 20 of them. So probably more than that, but I buy so many games and it's so hard to play them all because so many of them are so big, and
Yeah.
like I'll play for like 2 days and then put it down for a little bit and forget how to play, and it's like, well, it's gonna take me forever to get back into it, even if I enjoy the game.
Yeah. No, I do that. I'm definitely what most people would call like a game dabbler.
Yeah.
Right. So like I bought Hogwarts Legacy, played a little bit of it, moved on. You know,
I'm the same way.
I played. Yeah. So, but I feel like that's one of the reasons I love Game Pass so much.
Yeah,
Is like you can just jump into stuff without much consequence. I don't
for
know.
sure. No, that's so sick that they're doing that again.
Yeah, but yeah, good deals going on. Maybe for next week's episode, we should both come up with like 10 recommendations of games.
Okay. Yeah.
That'd be kind of a fun one. Give everyone.
you guys
our
like that,
game
chat?
recommendations.
Garrett's
Let
are
us
all
know.
going to be FPSs, just so you know.
100%. Oh yeah.
I'll try and provide some variety.
I will probably mostly recommend VR games. Actually,
Okay,
there's been a
cool.
lot that I've been involved with, and I also have maybe I'll come up with a free list too, because I know people are always asking me about free games on,
Yeah.
especially VR. I've got a pretty good list going right now
Sweet.
for free VR games. So, yeah, that's my win. Let's get on to the losses. What's
Okay.
the gaming loss of the week?
Man, I saw an interesting stat today that I think is a huge loss.
Really?
Warner Bros. Video Game Studios just announced that they just lost another $100 million this like couple months.
Really?
They have lost $300 million this year in video games.
Okay, so what's under Warner Bros?
So
Wait,
the 2 titles that have lost them so much money, they lost $100 million this year from the Multiverses, that fighting game,
Yep.
and they lost $200 million from the Suicide Squad game that they made.
That doesn't actually surprise me.
Yeah, so that's
Will you send me that
crazy.
article? I want to read through that. Maybe I
Yeah.
might make a post on that because that is super fascinating.
And luckily, like, there was a little bit of good news. They said they're going to start focusing on their successful IPs again. So they said specifically, like, Hogwarts, we're going to use the engine, use all this stuff to rebuild another game, focus on DLC. And then Batman, they said they're going to try and focus on that, try and get some successful Batman content out there again.
Is Arkham Shadow the new VR game? Is that under Warner Bros. Technically?
I don't know. I think
Question.
Warner Bros. Owns DC. So any of the DC games, in theory, they should be doing that. But
Arkham Shadows.
Enchanted, that is probably the script right there. How much money did you lose?
That's probably gonna be the kicker right there. How much money did you lose? $300 million. How? Right in
There's
an
half the
episode right
video.
there.
You're
There's
seeing
half
it
the video
right now.
there. Y'all can write these for me at this point. Ain't no chance. Okay. So I have a couple gaming losses of the week. There's been a couple things that I think are really sad. Okay, the first one. Did you see that PlayStation is acquiring all the rights to From Software?
No, I didn't. That's crazy.
Yeah. So From Software are the guys that make the Soulsborne games.
Yeah.
And PlayStation just announced that they are acquiring all the shares of that studio.
Wow.
And that's scary.
Yeah.
Because I would be willing to bet that they will make the next Soulsborne game, the next Souls game, and a PlayStation exclusive.
The thing,
ugh.
That means it'll come out a year later on everything else.
Yep. If it comes out at all, right? Like I've seen a couple posts about people talking about this, saying like this is terrible because it's very possible that like God of War, you're not gonna give this to Xbox players. Whereas Souls games have been also Xbox games for a while, and Sony does not play nice with the other consoles. So,
did they not port War over to Xbox yet?
Nope. God of War is only on Steam and PlayStation.
Gotcha.
Which is
Steam comes out a year later.
It's the same thing with like Helldivers, like it's only on PlayStation and Steam. Like that's Sony crazy. Is still stuck in their like exclusive phase, I guess. Yeah. And I the Souls games, I personally haven't played any of them, but I know that has like a very like passionate community, and they're a great type of game that lots of people follow. Like I mean, Elden Ring won Game of the Year last year or 2 years ago in 2022, right? Like that's a Souls type game. I mean,
I'm pretty sure that's like the Ghosts of Tsushima and stuff, all that, isn't it? It's another like samurai game, right? It's like a blood or a Soulsborne game. So that's a huge genre, essentially.
I just worry about Sony's greed on that one, about them trying to, like that was a pretty big loss. Like that's very scary for like the future of that game franchise and what PlayStation might try to pull with that. So that was a major loss. The other one that is kind of a major gaming L that I wanted to talk about is the Game of the Year awards. Did you see that they got announced?
No.
So they announced the nominees for Game of the Year.
Uh-huh.
And they are recognizing DLCs now as contenders for Game of the Year.
Whoa.
Which I very strongly disagree with. They should not be like, there should be a category for like DLC of the year.
Yeah.
There should not be DLCs competing for Game of the Year. I think that's ridiculous.
Crazy.
So the game that is in question, it's the Elden Ring DLC, which again, Elden Ring's a great game. Yep. The Virtue or whatever it is. It's a great game. That's a fantastic game. It won Game of the Year. Like I feel like it's already gotten its like heyday.
Yeah,
they should not win again because
no, for sure not.
They made a good DLC. Anyway, and then there's also Remaster, which I have my own opinions about remasters. There's Remaster in the competition.
The Final Fantasy.
Yep. And it's just like, why? So
that's nuts.
I just feel like, I don't know. There's I just disagree with it. Like DLCs and remasters should not be in contending for the Game of the Year. I just so very much disagree with that.
It's crazy to me, the list. I'm looking at it right now. Right?
Pull it up so chat can see it.
Indie studio. Yeah. Let me pull it up. The only indie studio game that I'm seeing at the moment is Balatro, which that is pretty dope that it's actually in contest or like competition for Game of the Year.
Yeah.
That's a crazy game. I mean, they kind of invented a new genre of video game. They're calling them roguelike casino games.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. It's a fun game. I like Balatro, but like I would have rather seen Animal, what is it? Animal Well, like Donkey's game that he published. We can go through some of these. I'm kind of scrolling fast, but
the Game of the Year stuff kind of bothers me because the way that things are nominated and chosen is so skewed towards a very particular demographic that I don't feel like actually represents. Like last time I looked into it, it's like 5% of the vote comes from the public and everything else comes from like publishers and like media outlets, which have a very different motivation than what like an average gamer has. So
for sure. I saw some people announcing that they're going to do their own game awards. Do you see they're trying to trademark game awards?
I feel like they would be hard pressed to do that in the American. Like
They're
that's
trying right
wild.
now, though. It's pretty crazy.
Oh, I hate stuff like that, dude. The trademark industry is a whole thing, but
So there's other
that's
people that
great.
are trying to do their own game awards right now because they hate the like politicalness of the game awards.
Yeah, like it's no longer representative of like what gamers are actually playing. Like, I'm sorry, but I do think that there should be recognition of Helldivers
Yeah.
in Game of the Year for the sake of like the ingenuity of the global efforts of Helldivers in
For sure.
Helldivers missions and stuff. That was good game design.
Like one of the ones that people are mad about is Stellar Blade, which I don't know if you know what that is. It's kind of
the over sexualized whatever.
Probably. I know that a lot of people play it though. Like I think it's probably one of the reasons why it is
action
not
adventure
being nominated.
hack and slash.
Yeah, is because it is probably like that. But it's weird that they wouldn't even like give them the opportunity, you know?
I don't know, dude. I have some dirt on the VR equivalent of the Game Awards that I probably shouldn't say out loud for the sake of my own things. But if the Game Awards operates on any of the same levels that this other company does, that does the VR Game Awards, it's shady. I'll just say that. Anyway. But yeah, that's a major loss, dude. I mean, like going through the titles, I think Black Myth Wukong definitely deserves to be on there. Fantastic game. Astrobot, I was kind of like,
oh man,
Astrobot, dude. Like,
I think it should be.
Really?
Honestly, yeah, it's such like a celebration of PlayStation.
But like, that's why it feels so wrong to me. Is it's like, isn't that PlayStation's mascot, and isn't it just like a like it feels like a Looney Tunes like game. What's that movie called? Oh, fetch. What was it called? Space Jam, like the new Space Jam with LeBron James, where Warner Brothers was just showing off all the IP they still own because they're like, hey, Disney's not that powerful. It just kind of felt like that. And I feel like they paid their way in with that a little bit. That's just me. That's just my personal opinion. But
I think it's an awesome game. I think it's fun. I think it's a good platformer.
It's good art.
I think it deserves to be in there.
Style.
I think people enjoyed it a lot. And I mean, I've heard people say that it is their favorite game of the year.
Really?
Like Moist Critical said it's in his top 3 for the year. So it is a quality game.
I mean, it looks good. Like from what I haven't personally played it. I've watched like videos and stuff on it. It looks good. Like it's a good looking game. I don't know. My opinion on Game of the Year is it should be something more like celebratory of something cool that gaming did this year, or something new, or something different. So I think that's my thoughts on Astrobot.
These two shouldn't be in there. I don't know about this one. I don't know anything about Metaphor ReFantazio.
I've been looking into that. I've never even heard of this game until it showed up in Game of the Year. Wukong for sure deserves to be there. Astrobot. Oh, I can concede it on Astrobot. I'm a little worried about that. I love that. I actually love that the card game made it in. Ball Electro, is that what it's called?
Yeah. It's fun.
Like,
if you haven't
I think that's cool that they recognize like this is unique game design. You know, this is like a very new and cool way of doing a card game.
Yeah.
You know, that's impressive to me.
I think it's weird that best game direction and game of the year are exactly the same. Like that's I don't know.
Like that, yeah, that just feels like I don't know.
They should have like different. That's not a different enough category then.
Like, what does that even mean? Like best. Like best.
To me, that's like the newest or like best theme or maybe like I don't know.
Yeah, like can we have like a cool world building game type or something like that? In which case, like Helldivers should for sure be recognized as an absolute cool one.
Yeah.
Best adaptation. That's kind of interesting that they've started doing that since there has been so many video game adaptations.
I forgot Fallout was this year. That one was good.
I didn't actually watch it, but I heard it was good. I heard good things about it.
Obviously, Arcane, great.
Fantastic.
Knuckles, haven't seen that one.
That's the new
Sonic.
No, Sonic, yeah.
And then I didn't watch either of these two.
Yeah, I'm not aware of those ones.
best narrative. It's weird that Silent Hill 2 is there again because that's a remake.
Again, I disagree with the idea that remakes should be even recognized.
Yeah.
That's cheap. That's like not good. That's AAA cheap recycling.
Yeah.
Like
the original Senua's Saga was really cool.
I never played that one.
I believe it was about a girl that had schizophrenia. You're like a Viking. It's a really interesting story. I would heavily recommend checking it out.
You told me about that like years ago.
Yeah.
Huh. Excuse me.
Let's see. We got best art direction, Astrobot for sure. Black Myth Wukong for sure.
Yeah.
Elden Ring. These two are dumb that they're in there. Or I guess just this one. I don't know again what Metaphor is. I haven't seen a single picture of it.
You should look it up. It's interesting looking. I don't know.
Google
Metaphor Fantasio.
It's okay. I get that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. It's fine.
It's a lot like what does it remind me of? There's another game that I'm thinking of. Actually, I see this now. It's a Sega game. It definitely falls in line with what a lot of Sega does. Persona. It reminds me a lot of Persona. Just the art style of everything. And Persona is a really good game. So
okay. I don't know. I've never. It looks interesting. Like it's cool.
It's this one right here.
Yeah.
I can imagine the music is really good. I'm always a fan of Sega's music choices in a lot of their video games. I feel like they do a really good job.
I know Helldivers was mentioned in one of these. I can't remember which one it was. Was it Score and Music?
No, Helldivers wasn't in there. Stellar Blade's in there though. That's interesting.
That is interesting.
Helldivers
got
Silent Hill 2 is in there.
Yeah. Again, I just feel like
audio, same thing. Senua's Saga is in there, which I think that's really cool because in the first one you could hear different voices from different directions and stuff. You had schizophrenia. That's pretty cool.
That is
Black Ops 6 is funny.
See, that's so funny because their audio is such a controversial thing right now because it's like a pay to win feature at this point because they teamed up with that company. What is it called? Mono Edge or something like that?
Yeah.
Anyway, I'd be surprised if they won anything.
Best performance. I mean, that's the artists, right? The actors. That's
the actor side of thing.
None of the voice actors that I know are in there, so that's interesting. Accessibility. That's a really cool one.
Accessibility? What is that?
Just how they do different things to make it more accessible to more people.
Oh, interesting.
So that's always a fun one to see. Games for Impact.
No idea what that means.
It's has to do with raising awareness of different issues around the world.
Okay.
So Senua's Sacrifice or Senua's Sagas in there probably for some type of mental health thing, or so they all have something to do with either mental health or world issues or improvement. Some of them donate money, that kind of stuff.
Cool.
I'm sure. Yeah. That's probably what all that is. There you go. Best ongoing.
There it is. Helldivers.
You know it's going to lose to freaking Fortnite because everybody loses every year to Fortnite on best ongoing game. I feel like Fortnite has won that for years.
Didn't Destiny have a super good DLC this year though?
I don't know. So I learned one of my friends that I grew up with this week or maybe last week he came over. He is a speedrunner in Destiny 2 and he's in the top. His team is in the top 10 worldwide for speedrunning different things inside of Destiny 2. So we were talking about Destiny 2 and he said it's dead.
Oh, that's too bad.
But,
all right. Well,
community support, obviously Fortnite. There you go. Best indie game, Animal Well.
There it is.
That one's so cool, dude. If you haven't checked it out yet, 10 out of 10. They built their own engine for everything. It is amazing.
Oh gosh, people need to stop being so smart. Making the Last look bad.
Best debut indie game, Animal Well. That's for studio's first game that they published.
Oh, gotcha.
So some of these people have probably published other games. The Plucky Squire, that's cool. I didn't know that was a debut game for the studio. Mobile games, Balatro. Wow. It's pretty crazy. I've heard the Pokemon trading card game is pretty good. I haven't played it though. A lot of people love it.
Gotta get on it, man. You're all about
here
that.
You go. Best cards. VR AR.
Really?
Yeah. So Arizona Sunshine remake.
Yep.
Asgard's Wrath 2. Batman Arkham Shadow.
That'll win.
Metal Hellslinger VR.
Nope.
Have you played that one?
No. I have no desire to either.
Really? It's like a Doom.
Yeah, but like rhythmic, right?
Yeah, it's so fun. The PC version of it is a blast. I love it.
I don't know.
You should try it out. It's a fun first-person shooter.
I've played so many rhythm games. Like I've been playing that Trombone Champ because I'm helping them out with their social media right now.
Yeah,
Trombone Champ is just funny. I like the meminess of it. It's a fun one to play because it's funny. But like I don't know, dude. When I get serious about like rhythm games, it's kind of like I'll just play Beat Saber.
Well, it's not like it's a different type of rhythm game. Like there are rhythm games where you're trying to do different things. I don't know. It's still a first-person shooter with like the addition of rhythm. You'll kind of watch some videos on it. You'll check it out. It is, I mean, it's like Doom. It's Doom, but with music that you want to like shoot your bullets to and reload to. It feels so good to be on rhythm and doing stuff. Like it's fun.
I would rather just like, I don't know. For me, it'd be so much more fun for me to like jump into. There is like a Doom VR game knockoff that looks super fun that I want to try out.
Enchanted, no, it's not like Pistol Whip. Pistol Whip is very like linear. It's just like a level where you're trying to do things to the rhythm. This one is like first Doom, second rhythm. So like if you do things to the rhythm, your shots become stronger. You deal a little bit more damage. That's like the big benefit to it is like you can do cool combos with this game versus like I would say Pistol Whip is a more typical type of rhythm game with like secondary design elements of a first person shooter, if that makes sense. So and then Metro Awakening, that's the other one.
If I had to guess out of all those, that one will probably win. Like really? That one is the most impressive, like from a VR standpoint of like new mechanics that were used, very cool design and like storytelling. Like Arkham is really good overall, but it's an Arkham game. Like it's nothing new. Whereas Metro was like, it is cool. They did a lot of really cool features. They did like a lot of cool stuff with like you're wearing a mask and you have to like wipe the fog off of your face. Okay. Like spiders appearing on the back of your hand. They did a good job with it. They did a fantastic job. And it's Metro game. Like Metro is cool. And I'm glad that they're like acknowledging VR at this point, you know?
To answer your question, Camouflage is the company that developed the Arkham Shadows, but I'm sure WB or whatever studio we were talking about was involved with it.
Yeah, what typically happens right now in the VR space is like the studios aren't familiar with VR and VR development, so they usually contract out like a smaller indie studio to handle the actual VR stuff.
Gotcha.
And then they jump in. So
let's see. You have Best Action Game, which has Helldivers 2.
Interesting.
And Stellar Blade. Interesting. Warhammer. And then Action Adventure.
Ooh, the Zelda game.
That was a fun one. I liked this style of Zelda game.
I was glad they brought it back to that a little bit. It was like a nod to like the original way you played, but it was still like with modern stuff. It was cool. It was cool. I can respect it.
Star Wars Outlaws. That's funny. I've heard that
thing needs to be taken out back and shot. Like what a dumpster fire. I think the actress though, like it got nominated for like best performance.
Yeah.
Yes,
you can have like, good actors but bad video games.
That's the shame of it. It's like with the budget they had, like the storyline they could have made, and like the performers that they got, they pooched it.
Yeah,
that's a bummer. Anyway,
best RPGs. kind of just the same. Erdtree,
Yeah.
that's really dumb that that's in there.
Again,
Final
yeah,
Fantasy,
that's their
dumb.
big thing this year is they're like, oh yeah, we're acknowledging remasters and DLCs as potential competitors for Game of the Year, which I just think was dumb.
See, fighting game, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, so that's dead. That's not gonna win. Multiverses.
It lost 90% of its players, but
that lost $100 million. So WB,
that can't
that one
win.
probably went in there. Tekken
maybe the $100 million went to them paying off them winning and became win. Pay to win.
My guess for this one is Marvel versus Capcom.
Yeah, that's a classic. I could see Dragon Ball Sparkling Zero just because it's like innovative in the way that they did fighting.
Well, it's like, I mean, they have a lot of Dragon Ball games that are the same type of fighting style.
Yeah. For anyone who's just joining us, we are going over the Game of the Year nominations, kind of talking through them. So right now we're talking about the best fighting games that have been nominated for Game of the Year. And we have opinions, to say the least.
Best family game?
Ooh.
I think all of these are solid games.
I think they're all
That's the thing, man. Nintendo. Yeah, this one's fun. Yes, this one's fun. I've heard the new Mario Party is amazing. A lot of people say it's the best one that's come out in a long time.
Yeah, my wife and I were both big Mario Party players as kids, and so it's our anniversary coming up, and I told her like, okay, we're gonna get Mario Party, and that's gonna be our anniversary present for each other, is that we're gonna get Mario Party and play it together.
That's fun. And then sim game. Who even plays these anymore, dude?
This feels like our stream last week where we were going through like ranking all the RPG types, and we were like, what even is this? Like, what are we doing?
I have seen Frostpunk 2. I think that's a fun game.
Frostpunk is good.
Yeah. It's a different type of strategy.
It's a very different type of game, but
like these just are so old school to me. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sports game. Is there another FIFA in here? The 2025 version or the 2025 version or the 2025 version.
Rinse and repeat option 1 or rinse and repeat option 2. No.
Right. Multiplayer. That's cool. Helldivers is in there. That's good.
Is it going up against Warhammer?
Yeah.
Oof.
I actually, again, back to fighting games, I think Tekken 8 is going to win, if I'm honest. It has the most longevity.
Yeah. I forgot about Warhammer. I feel like that's another game that fell off way fast.
Yeah. Again, I think people wanted it to be Helldivers for a larger audience, and it's just not that.
They wanted it to be Helldivers because of all of the stuff that was going on with Sony. Like, they wanted it to be just the Helldivers that Helldivers couldn't be because of the way that it's tied to Sony.
Yeah.
But it was
just
fine. It's not. It's Warhammer. They played to Warhammer strengths. It was a good Warhammer game. It was a great Warhammer game.
Most anticipated game.
Ooh, this is an interesting category.
For me, Monster Hunter, it's hard to anticipate Monster Hunter because they remake it every year and it's almost exactly the same. Grand Theft Auto
6. I love all the memes that are going around right now about like things we got before Grand Theft Auto 6. Yeah. Like someone said one on sale the other day. What was it? It was like, oh man, we're getting sea monsters in sale before Grand Theft Auto 6.
That's funny.
So yeah, you know it.
I think all of these are pretty good except for the Monster Hunters. Like,
what is the hype with Death Stranding? That is the strangest game.
You know, I watched a video. So Video Game Donkey, he's made fun of it a lot. He's like, I played it. It was whatever. It's the first of its kind game. But then he's like, I don't know, ragging on it. And then he made another video like 6 months later. He's like, so I've beat the game 3 times now. I don't know what it is about it. I just keep coming back to it and keep wanting to play it. So I have no idea. I've never played it before, but people love it.
It's like weird to the point where I want to look into it just because of how strange it is. Like, that's kind of where I'm at with it. Like the original one came out like in 2014 or something like that. It was like a long time ago. And I remember seeing all the trailers for it and I was like, what on earth is going on? And then they released like the second one and all the stuff going on there. And I'm just like, this is a trip, man, an absolute trip.
Yeah.
still no idea what's going on. So I don't know.
Clark, I'm gonna have to check out Monster Hunter Wild. I've played Monster Hunter before. I've heard this one might be a little bit different, so maybe I'm wrong. It just seems like it's kind of another rinse and repeat game where they just kind of update a couple things and it changes a tiny bit. But I'll look into it.
Monster Hunter. Do you just hunt down monsters? Is that the entirety of the game?
Yeah, you have like a base house that you go to, and then you jump into the world. You have to track down a giant monster, kill it. I mean, it's a cool concept. Like, the problem with me is it's definitely like a Eastern game. Like, it's hard to get into for me as like a traditional Western style gaming player.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There's a lot of like extra steps to get into gameplay when you're playing some type of like Japanese RPG. So the first time I played it, it took me a long time to get into it. It's fun. It's a cool concept, but it's not like something that you can just kind of jump into and start playing if you're unfamiliar with the way that the game works.
So. Fair. Most controversial game, Power World. Honestly, though, that'd be funny. Like, there should be a couple of like I wish they would acknowledge like a couple different things in like Game of the Year. Like, controversial game would actually be a funny category. Like, it's
for sure
the award you don't want to win.
Yeah,
it's like most controversial game, or like they should definitely do like most innovative,
worst graphics, most bugs,
biggest fallout, worst launch,
quickest death. We all know would win that one.
Oscars. Jordan Cutzer's in the chat. What is this? You guys don't know, Jordan is the guy who does Derby VR. So that is another fantastic free-to-play VR game. If you guys haven't checked that out, go and check out Derby. There's your shout out, Jordan. You're welcome.
Maybe we should have him on sometime, one of the weeks.
Yeah, Jordan, you want to come on and talk? You want to talk games sometime? And we'll see what he says. I like my the freaking cheese chat, bro. I'm gonna ban the word cheese from all of my platforms. I am so.
You know what that's from? I like my cheese drippy. Oh my gosh.
Yes, I don't.
Garrett's such a boomer, guys. He's such a boomer.
I'm not a boomer. I sit in a room all day making TikToks
on social media, man. You don't even know Logan Paul.
Watch the social media. I make the social media.
It's from when they released Lunchly. It's like his thing about how much better Lunchly is than Lunchable. He's like, the cheese is drippy. Kind of a thing.
Oh, is it the Logan Paul crap?
Yeah.
Now Jordan says he'll come on. We'll get him in.
Yes, Concord would definitely win the quickest death.
Concord. Logan Paul, man. Of course it's Logan Paul. Why is Logan Paul popping up everywhere, bro? That guy. This dude.
And then content creator of the year.
Who's even on there? Queso?
Queso needs to win.
Queso should win.
I don't even know who all these other people are. Queso is like Queso, Sketch, and Jinxie are like social
media wizards.
Yeah, they're like
social icons.
Stand out. Yeah, they're icons. They kind of stand out. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
they're phenoms, I guess is what I was gonna say. They're like anomalies.
No, it's so funny because like you look at some of the stuff that Queso does, like with his streams and stuff. It's like so low quality and low budget. I just love it. It's just so raw. Like, bro put up like a 420p like camera and just started streaming, and he's hilarious. I love the guy.
Yes, Jordan, that's perfect. We should make a really fun game that makes a lot of money, or that makes you a lot of money. Do you know what that's from?
No.
It's Logan Paul released an NFT thing where you were supposed to like breed your NFTs together and make new NFTs that you could sell and like create hybrids, and then it made you money. That was his whole thing. It's like a really fun game like Pokemon that makes you money as the player, and then he rug pulled it and completely screwed everybody over that bought an NFT, and now they're worth no money. He was supposed to refund it all, but he didn't. So another fun Logan Paul fact.
Another NFT craziness. Of course, NFTs getting dragged to the dirt left and right.
Let's see, best multiplayer or esports, CS:GO or Counter-Strike 2. I haven't seen it. I would imagine it's probably doing well. Dota 2, I thought Dota 2 was dead. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It's played extremely heavily, like throughout other, like I feel like third world
Regions.
countries.
I know League of Legends is still living.
Of course it is. You can't kill a toxic vat.
Valorant, I don't really know.
Valorant
like-
just came to consoles, so I think it had a pretty major
That's true.
resurgence
Yeah.
in like player base because of its accessibility.
And then this is a Chinese ripoff of League of Legends on mobile phones. So
Yo, the nerdmonger just had the biggest roast in chat for Queso. Queso walks up to receive his reward. Earthquake happens. That's how mean. Queso is the planet in Planet Fitness. Oh my gosh.
He's not even here to defend himself.
He's still getting roasted on someone else's stream. This poor guy.
Garrett, do you know
This poor
who
guy.
Meat Canyon is? He's a YouTuber.
Wait, what?
Meat Canyon.
Okay. Meat as in like meatloaf or like
Yeah.
meat as in like I met a person.
Meat Canyon, MEAT,
Let's
like
see.
food.
Meat Canyon. That is
He
the
makes
worst name. That's disgusting. Like, why?
he makes
I've seen these. Oh my gosh, I've
animations,
seen
horror
these.
animations. He does one about queso. So good. He's another one of my favorite YouTubers. Papa Meat is like, I watch that religious. If there's a new Papa Meat YouTube
What?
video, I drop everything and watch it because it's my favorite YouTube channel.
Bro, why?
He's so funny.
Bro, why?
It's like I watch
Why?
Oompaville, Meat Canyon, Penguin Zero. And I'm probably like a stereotypical YouTube watcher nowadays. Enchanted, he didn't retire. He just is slowing down on his animations and focusing more on his like personal channel. He still makes animations every once in a while, though.
7.88 million subs. That is wild. For being named Meat Canyon. Congratulations.
His animations are so good.
Oh, I mean, it looks good, but
Yeah.
in all the wrong ways, it looks good. Like,
He's a horror animator. He's like
I hate those. Those just make me feel icky. No, thank
it's
you.
like parody horror. It's pretty
Ugh.
funny.
He's okay, Garrett the Gamer. Shush, Enchanted.
Game of the let's see. Oh, best esports athletes.
Athletes. Yeah, I got nothing in the esports realm.
I hope Faker wins. He's like the League of Legends GOAT.
Really?
Yeah, he just. I mean, they just won Worlds again this year.
Dang.
SKT. So he's like the League of Legends best player ever. He deserves to. They just sold a skin honoring him in League of Legends. It was like $500. It was crazy, but he's like the first Hall of Famer in League of Legends.
That's wild. Esports team. Yeah, I got nothing in the esports world. I did play what will probably become one of the biggest esport games in VR today for the first time.
Is that the 1v1 me? 1v1 me, bro?
No, that was Veil VR, which was a ton of fun. But I played Orion Drift today. I know people have been asking me if I played Orion Drift. I did jump in and play it. That's the guys who made Gorilla Tag. They made a new game. It's called Orion Drift. And today they opened it up for server stress testing. And I jumped in, gave it a try. It is crazy. Like their server cap is 75 people.
Holy cow.
Isn't that insane? Like
Did you have fun?
I did have fun. So like this is the thing. I was just kind of like wandering around just aimlessly. The map, like the social area is ginormous. Like it is huge. And you can like fly to other parts. You're on like the theme is that you're on this like space station floating through space and you're these robots. And they play this game called Driftball. And you can fly to other parts of the space station using like Echo VR controls where it's like the rockets on your wrist. It was crazy how big the map was and just seamless transition from one part of the space station to the other. And they've got all these different game modes all involving this ball. Freaking crazy. But
that sounds fun.
Yeah, it's like super competitive. I didn't play too much of like the actual sport. I was just kind of like trying to mess around and like see like what it has to offer, but I would not be surprised if that becomes a major esport in like VR this next year. It'll be crazy.
Yeah, I'm excited. I hope. I mean, it'd be cool to have a VR esports category for the game of the year.
So yeah, that's just so dumb that Meta shut down Echo because like they had an esports league going with freaking Echo VR, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh
I think with like disc and stuff, there are more competitive like VR games coming out.
yeah,
I think that would be cool. So it'd be
sale
interesting.
esports. You guys can go check
Nerdmonger.
out C Sports.
We are not.
There's a whole
We are not fans of the DLC part of Game of the Year. It's pretty dumb.
Yeah, Nerdmonger is asking us if we think DLC should be able to win. I am very much against that. I think that's cheap. I think that excludes people who actually deserve to be nominated, who actually made an original game. Whereas, yeah. Anyway, that's all I got. That's all I got.
And then I think we're close to the end. Oh, that's it. Never mind. We are at the end.
There we go. All right, there you go, guys. That is the nominations for Game of the Year. I'm not overly impressed personally. I don't.
It'll be interesting to see. The only reason I watch the Game Awards is for the previews of the next big thing. So,
and that's the thing is like Game of the Board has just turned into this massive marketing thing more than anything, and that's why it's still able to do what it does because it has the amount of money it has to be able to continue doing that stuff. So,
yeah,
I don't know, dude. I would love to support if anyone can think of like another Game Awards show that's going on that I could potentially support. I would love to at least look into it, see if there's anything I vibe with, because I disagree that Game of the Year should go to this organization nowadays. But I don't think it's a proper representation of what is actually happening in the gaming world and what deserves to be mentioned.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
I digress.
Anyway. Sick. Well, you had something else that you wanted to show us this week.
Okay. Well, I mean, do we even have time at this point? We're going on about an hour at this point, are we? Okay, hang on.
Do we want to do it, or do we want to do it after?
Let's give ourselves like a little teaser for folk, because
it'll give you some time to play with it a little bit more. And
I would be
for next week.
So let me.
Well, next week actually we're not streaming. It is the day before Thanksgiving.
So we will not be on. We will be taking a break next week, guys. So 2 weeks before we do Practicality. Maybe I'll get on and stream something regularly. Maybe not. I'm not sure if I'll be traveling that day. So we'll see. Maybe I'll jump on and see if I can eat a Thanksgiving dinner and then puke in VR.
We might try and get something fun for 2 weeks. So I would like to try and have somebody like another developer on here to talk about their game a little bit. So we'll see what we can
Jordan's a fun one to talk to. We should definitely get Jordan on here sometime. Okay, so I was sent an omnidirectional treadmill. Let's see if we can get this to where you guys can see it. So can you guys kind of see that? This is an omnidirectional treadmill that I got sent by Cat VR. And I haven't tried it out yet. I just barely put it together. Holy crap. I feel so bad for the FedEx guy who had to deliver this thing. This was the heaviest package on planet Earth. Like, oh my gosh. Putting it together was kind of crazy. They did a really good job with like their instructions and whatnot. Yeah, so let's get a better look at it. This is the Cat VR C2 Core omnidirectional treadmill. I just want to know what kind of questions you guys have about this. Like, I want to know what you guys want me to answer about it, because I'm going to be making a post on it pretty soon. We'll be talking about it. I haven't tried it out yet. I haven't jumped into a game with it quite yet. Kind of deciding on what I want to do with it. But yeah, I'm working with Cat VR. They did sponsor me to make a post about it, and they sent it to me for free, obviously. But I mean, I'm probably going to be streaming with it quite a bit because it's an omnidirectional treadmill. Like, how can you not? So, yeah, I've got that. And then I also have this little arcade machine up in the corner right here. That's another thing I got sent. It's kind of a new VR company that just started called X Arcade is what I want to say. X2 Arcade, something like that. They kind of have a weird name, but it's basically a virtual, you can use your headset to simulate like an arcade, and then you have the actual arcade controls in front of you. And so it's like a legitimate arcade experience, but also in virtual reality. So that's another one I'm going to be checking out before long here. Yeah. So I think, a couple of cool gifts. Christmas.
We need a sweat stream. We need to see what we should do, like a benchmark. When you get to like 500,000 YouTube subscribers, You should play a horror game in VR on the
Oh, gosh.
omnidirectional treadmill.
I'll finally play a Minecraft in omnidirectional treadmill VR.
Just running around for freaking days trying to
That-
get.
So I saw somebody, I can't remember who it was. I want to say it's Happy147. He like rigged up something so that he had to like physically walk across I want to say it was Fallout VR. So like he walked the entire map of Fallout like in real
That's
life. And
crazy.
I kind of want to do that. I kind of want to hook this up to like Skyrim and just like walk Skyrim. Just like see. But
That's nuts.
yeah, I don't know. I have no opinions on it quite yet. Obviously, I was excited enough to like accept a sponsorship from them to like check it out and whatnot. But it'll be interesting to actually jump into it and see how much I like or dislike it because I'm sure I'll have opinions on it. But we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to hear about it. We've been dreaming about omnidirectional treadmills since we both read Ready Player One. Like, I mean, 6
Yeah.
years, right? We've both been wanting to do it.
Yeah, I
wanting
wanted
to
to
see
try
one.
it for sure. I already have some opinions about just like I mean, it's like look at the size of this thing. This is taking up like a third of my office, basically. You know, like that is definitely a huge concern that I have right off the bat with it. But like I'm genuinely curious to see if like the experience of it and like how much it like adds or takes away from games will make it worthwhile to be basically a centerpiece in my office.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. I'm gonna have a lot to say about it, I'm sure, in the coming months. But I've seen some. The other thing is, I've seen a couple of channels. I just ran into this girl on TikTok the other day, who her whole fitness journey, she has like gone on this goal of getting like back in shape, and she has done it exclusively through an omnidirectional treadmill.
That's cool.
Like she has
I
just
respect
taken to omnidirectional gaming. I can't remember her account name, but I really should shout her out. But she bought an omnidirectional treadmill and she was like, like, yeah, it was kind of pricey, but it's like the same I would have spent on like a fitness coach or whatever. At least this way I can game and get in shape,
Well, and
So-
fitness is so much easier when you enjoy what you're doing.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So
Like, I don't know. I'm curious. So if you guys have questions, go and join the Garrett the Gamer Discord. We have a podcast section. If you have questions about the treadmill, you can stick them there or in some of the other spots. But yeah, I am going to be checking this thing out in probably a future stream. We'll see. I got to make the post about it first. I'm still in talks with Cat VR about a few things they want me to mention about the product.
cool.
So yes, but I will be sure to keep you guys posted about the omnidirectional treadmill and the X Arcade machine, which I'm very excited about too. It's so cool looking. I love that they did such like the retro colors with that thing. Let's see if I can zoom in on it a little better so you guys can see it.
Gizmo asked, how long did it take to assemble it?
Like 2 hours.
Okay. So it's not.
It was a pretty intense process. So like that's the machine. It's sweet. It's got like the scroll wheel in the middle, all the buttons, 2 players, which is kind of interesting. I'm kind of curious how it's going to work with like VR and 2 players. And
Yeah,
stuff.
that's pretty crazy.
Adjustable stand so it can go up and down and whatnot.
Okay.
I haven't checked out the game catalog yet either, so I'm kind of curious about that as well.
That sounds really exciting. I love the idea of like a retro arcade in VR where you can play around and hang out with your friends and play.
That's
like,
what
games.
caught my eye about it. When they reached out, they had a really cool video like showing off what it was like supposed to be able to do. And I was like, this looks interesting. Like I'd be willing to at least check it out.
Yeah.
So again, another sponsored post that'll be coming up here soon. But yeah, omnidirectional treadmill and then arcade VR machine. We will be checking that out soon on the channel, guys. Woo!
Cool. That was a lot. We accomplished a lot in an hour.
Hey, I feel like that was better. What do you guys think,
Yeah.
chat? How did we like the shorter episode format? A little bit quicker, a little more fast pace.
Yeah,
we
I
got
feel
what we
like
needed.
if you were here last week, we did the freaking tier list and that just kept on going.
Oh my
I'm not
gosh,
gonna
it
lie.
never ended. It never stopped. There's so many games. There's so many game categories. Oh.
Well, cool guys. Thanks. I think we're probably gonna end the podcast here. Garrett and I have been talking about maybe if we do these shortened episodes. I think this was still a little bit longer than we were gonna do, but if we start doing these shortened episodes, we might play some video games after with
Off
the
the
people
default.
in chat. So I'll have to set that up on my end. I don't have that ready to do.
I could do it on
Um,
my end. They would just see my stuff if we wanted to do that. What time is it? That's not bad.
It's 4.
Do you have Buckshot Roulette? I really want.
I
to play
just bought it.
Buckshot. Wait. Okay.
I'll have
Chat.
to jump on my other computer.
We're gonna end stream. We're gonna jump into Buckshot.
All right. We'll be back in like 5 minutes while we get this set up so it works.
Sweet. Okay. I'm
All
just gonna restart the stream on my end. We'll keep talking
Cool.
to chat. All right.
Awesome. Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you guys for coming to the Practical Reality Podcast. Be sure to follow us on Spotify, Amazon Music, and any other places where you get your podcasts. We're live every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific time. That was a hard one. And yeah, we won't see you guys next week because of Thanksgiving, but we'll see you the week after that. All right.
Follow the YouTube and the TikTok too. So
Follow us.